In my opinion, the Talaria XXX is the best bang for your buck bike, still even in 2024. Now, I've already added a number of mods to the bike, and I'm loving all of them so far. However, there was one concern that I had when I bought this bike. People getting the first batch of these bikes were experiencing the subframes bending after prolonged use. Now, Lunicycle later released a beefier subframe for us American folk, but even then, there's still been issues.
See, even if you're looking at the rear end of my bike, you can see that the subframe is somewhat off to the right here. I'm not sure if this happened on arrival, because I don't remember the bike on arrival, or if just over time it got somewhat bent, but it doesn't matter because we're installing an all-new subframe sent over by my boy, Zilly Millie, aka Factory Z. This beast of a replacement subframe is made from 1/8 inch thick steel, TIG welded together, powder coated for color, and takes about 7 to 14 days from your purchase date to get shipped to your house. You can rush ship it if you want, you just gotta let Zilly know. This thing is robust. Listen to that sound. This freaking cat. You're not allowed on the bikes. Do not bite that. Get off! Stop! She doesn't listen. She doesn't listen. Get off of there!
Install time.
Install is fairly straightforward. We will begin by removing these 3 bolts. One here, and one here. All right, next up we're going to remove the bolt that goes through the seat here. There is an Allen on this side, and then you need a socket on this side to loosen it. And that comes right out. We're then just going to disconnect the brake light. This is for the tail light. There we are. Next up, we will remove these 4 bolts, 2 on each side. After 30 tries, I found the right size. Don't judge me for this means of loosening these, but. There's 2. Oh my God, holy sh**. You gotta be kidding me. Look at that, it snapped right off into the friggin' bolt in the bike. We found the correct tool, so we're gonna get this other side off. All right, with these 4 bolts removed, this just comes right off. All right, so here's the side-by-side of the 2. We're gonna swap over the taillight and the seat, obviously, to the new subframe, so let's do it. So as to give you as much context as possible here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out these 4 screws that hold this in place. This will come off. You get rid of that. Then you're gonna have 3 little bolts here and 2 here, and that will then remove this piece. So this is the old subframe. Now at this point, you don't need to take anything else. You'll just take the new subframe and it mounts like this. So as you can tell, all of the bolts line up. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1, 2. So we're going to reuse all of these bolts that we had here just to secure this in place. Okay guys, so we have the new subframe all mounted to the seat. I would recommend not losing your ratchet tool because otherwise you have to use this wrench and that takes forever. But this is all mounted up. It looks sweet. So next step, we'll just be getting this mounted up to the bike itself. Yeah, then we'll be pretty much done. All right guys, something to note here. So for the top mounts, we're going to reuse just the stock bolts. God, look how gross that is. That looks disgusting. But for the rear, if you can't tell here, this sticks out a little bit further. So Factory Z provides you with longer bolts and spacers, as you can see here. So we'll use these for that lower section. All right guys, so I was struggling with getting these 2 top bolts in, so I went ahead and put in this top seat bolt. So I'm hoping that should better line things up. I was having a little bit of trouble getting this to line up, so I just took a little file of sorts, I guess you could say, to get the holes to line up a little better. Now this side's in, so we'll put it on the other side. I obviously took off the seat. Alrighty guys, so despite some early challenges, she is all mounted up. Thing feels pretty beefy, even just picking up the bike, like it feels so much better than picking up the stock subframe. Looks sweet too, I love that it looks pretty much similar to stock, but let's give you a couple cinematics of it.
work, so I'm very glad to be done with this install. If you do order this, all the holes should line up perfectly when you get it. I spoke to Zilly about this. He has a new file that he's using. That means you shouldn't have to drill anything, which obviously is great. It'll save you some hassle. But yeah, this thing looks pretty sweet. I'm excited to test it out next video, just with how it feels, see how it feels with wheelies, off-road, and so on. But if you're interested in copping one of these, you can go to Factory Zco, use discount code Connor for a discount. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. As always though, I will catch you next time. Peace.